So here we have my daily driver, my little around town car, and doing this video a little before video because today is Friday the 4th and next Tuesday the 8th, hopefully, this thing's gonna have some new rubbers. And I don't mean the condom kind. These tires that came on it are pretty old and getting to be pretty bald. For the record, these are Century touring tires. Chinese knockoff no-name brand. They're 185/65/14. This car uses real small tires. And they were manufactured the 50th week of 2018. So they're getting up there in age, especially for cheap Chinese tires like these that really probably never rode that good anyway. I was looking to see if it says where they're made. Frankly, I do not really. Made in Thailand. Okay, I guess I was wrong. They're slightly above Chinese tires, but Century is still not really a name brand. And they're all the same. They all match. It's kind of dirty, and ignore the paint issues. But yeah, so they ride decent. They don't corner that well. They do pretty bad in the rain. You can see here, the tread is starting to get pretty low. I'd say this is probably 4/30 seconds tread. You'll see why the trunk's open in a minute. More paint issues. It's because this is a junkyard panel, but same over here. These things have an incredible amount of sidewall flex. I don't know how tires this small have that much flex in the sidewall, but it's concerning. This one too. This wheel cover's broken, but yeah. I'll actually, what I'm going to see if I can do, did I lock it? Yeah, I did. I'm going to have to put the car in the run position for this, but I'm going to turn the wheel all the way out so you can see the outsides of the tires. There we go. Yeah. Those are cracks. They are, and yeah, this thing weighs basically nothing. I can practically move it. Yeah, needless to say, it needs tires. Now, what's cool, the previous owner of this car, when he bought these tires, actually purchased a 5th rim and bought a full-size tire for this car. So I'll pull this out. It does not fit in the trunk because this trunk is meant for a donut. But there is a valve stem cap missing. I'm not worried about it. I have it on a different one. But yeah, so he figured, even though it won't fit, it is nice to have a full-size spare. What's cool too is that this is what these tires looked like when they were new. Look at the difference. No cracking, because this is essentially a brand new tire. No cracking. Tread is deep enough. It's not really, not as deep as the Firestones on my truck are, but then again, those are high-end tires. These are not. Versus, compare that to this. Yeah, quite a difference. So, needless to say, I'm not going to have this replaced, obviously. It doesn't need to be. It's just a spare. But before we cut to in the future, when I'm recording this, I do have one more thing I want to do. And I'll show you what that is real quick. That's better. Look a little different? Yeah. I took the cheap-ass wheel covers off. Only reason is because, for the record, look how cheap these are. They don't even have a logo on them. This one's covered in dust. The reason I took them off is because one of my coworkers went to Belt. Now, the only other times I've been to Bell Tire were with cars like that, or like my truck that have rims versus steel wheels with wheel covers. I took them off because when my friend or coworker went there, they gave her wheel covers back in a plastic bag, which I thought was the weirdest thing ever. So I just went ahead and took them off just because. Here's the one that's all cracked to shit. That's what the rims look like in case you've ever wanted to see them. Either way, just took them off, keep them in the garage. One would think that for a car that's this old with this many miles, that you wouldn't really splurge on high-end tires, and I'm not buying Michelins for this, believe me. That'd be a waste. What I ended up buying for these, I didn't buy Michelins, but I also didn't buy, like... Well, you'll see what I bought. I didn't buy, like, cheap Chinese no-name brand. They are a name brand, but they're like, you know, they're a mid-range name brand. They're not Michelin or Continentals, but they're still a name brand. So, yeah. In my opinion, even with, you know, I'm still on a pretty tight budget. I don't spend a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money, but I still fork up the money for, well, on this car, they're not expensive, but for higher-end tires, because I would not have bought these tires personally. Yeah, they've lasted a decent bit, but I do not trust the no-name brand tires, even on a car like this. So, yeah. I'm going to stop talking, and I'm going to cut back here in 4 days when this thing has some new rubbers. So, yeah. See you then. Okay. Fast forward 4 days to the 8th. There they are. And on this side, too. Alright, before I show them up close, let me put the wheel covers on. It looks so stupid without them. That's better. So, let's take a look at what I bought. These are the Uniroyal Tiger Paw AS tires. Obviously, they're 185/65 14s. Got them from Bell Tire. As per usual with Bell Tire, excellent install, excellent timing, excellent everything. These tires are supposedly 75,000 mile tires, so these are going to last probably past the car's life. Maybe not, I don't know. But it's just a traditional black sidewall. No white walls or anything. But let me tell you something. These tires ride so much smoother and grip corners so much better than those piece of junk China tires ever did. You can actually take corners in this thing and not feel like you're gonna fly away. And the reason I went with these, there's that one, is because they were the cheapest tire I could find across any store that was a name brand. Yeah, that's essentially it. The cheapest tire I could find across any store that was a name brand. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to open it up and I will go ahead and turn the wheel. They even make the wheel harder to turn. Show you the tread. Look at that. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Not crappy. The tread on those old tires was like 4/30 seconds. Yeah. Not on these babies. But yeah, basically, they were the cheapest tires I could find at any store that were a name brand. The cheapest tires I could find were also at Bell Tire. They were made by Crosswind. Yeah, exactly. No. These were 30 bucks a tire more, which isn't to say much. All of these tires were way under 100 bucks because they're so small. But, yeah, needless to say, you're not going to see me driving Crosswind or Ohatsu or what the hell else they have, like Nankang or... No. No. I don't care how cheap or old the car is. If I own it, it's getting name brand tires. Plus, Uniroyal's owned by Michelin now. So, yeah. Yeah, they corner well. They're good. Spare tires the same. Altogether, this was just over $400. That's including installation and everything, which is the cheapest set of tires I've ever bought. And I signed up for their rewards program, whatever that means, and so I got an extra 40 bucks off instantly. But, yeah. What's interesting is I checked the date on one of them. I don't know if I did it on all of them. Mud and snow rated. What I thought was interesting is that, yeah, they all are. These tires were made in the 5th week of 2021, which is a bit interesting, and my best guess, because they're new, obviously, they're not used. The only reason they're dirty is because I drove home with them. My best guess is that these are new old stock, because so few cars are made with 14-inch tires anymore. You get a shipment, it may be a year or two old. But yeah, so regardless, I like them. They ride very nice. Unlike Firestone, I have all my valve stem caps. And yeah, overall, I'm very happy with them so far. And I hope that I'm going to get a long life and lots of driving and all that out of them. So yeah, like I said, no white walls or white lettering or anything, which in my opinion, if you could get white lettering or white walls, especially on a truck, you should. I don't know, I like white walls even on cars. They just look better, especially on older cars. On this, it might have been interesting. I think Hankook makes a set with white walls, but nah. For this car, this is fine. Aside from that, 95% of people don't care. So, yeah. The Uniroyal Tiger Paw AS, all season. Isaac24.com.